about to die.
Okay, so what we need to talk about today is the project that you guys are going to start working on next week. There are going to be some stuff. I'm going to have a couple of short videos for you guys to watch too that explain some things that we're not going to have time to get to today. Okay. So first of all, just so you know, the rubric is right here. If you want to look at the rubric, I highly recommend looking at the rubric as you go through there. I'm going to give you an example of this presentation. The example is not a 100%. It's a student's one, and we can look at why it's not 100% as we go through there. But I want to talk about the project itself first. Okay. Now, I already told you guys you can use PowerPoint or Google Docs or Prezi. It's up to you. Okay. I don't care what presentation software you use. But I do expect to be able to see on Tuesday and Thursday and Friday that work has been done. So just so you know, at the bottom of this, you can either upload it if it's a PowerPoint, or if it's a Google Doc or a Prezi. I expect down here in the edit area, you guys to click edit if you're one of those people and put the link in here as a link. And I want to make sure everybody knows how to do that. So I'm going to go to Google Docs to make sure you know how to do that, just in case you end up doing it on your tablet. So if you've got something you want to share, there we go. If you've got something you want to share, I'll open up this PowerPoint right here, okay? So if you've got a PowerPoint that you want to send me and allow me to look at, you do not use this link right here. This link right here has nothing to do with what I can see, okay? You have to click the share button. And you only have to do this once, by the way. I've had people reshare things with me every time they make a change. As soon as it's shared, you're done, okay? So you share, you go right here, and what this defaults to is private. You have to change this. You have to go to this first thing and click change, and change it to anyone with the link. So anybody you give the link to will be able to see your PowerPoint, okay? You can make it public so other people can search for it, but you have to do one of these two things. So you click anyone that has the link, hit save, and now this link up here that says link to share, that's what you're going to copy. And when you're back here at the project in the notes, I want you to, you're going to kind of double paste, okay? You're going to paste it, and then you're going to highlight it, and then you're going to hit the link button, and you're going to paste it again into the URL and say OK. And now, did I do it? What did I do there? I should be seeing link it and say OK. There we go. I missed something. And when you hit save, now at the bottom, it is an actual link that if I click on it, it'll open up in a new web browser. Okay. So whether it's a Prezi or a Google Doc, all you have to do is put the link down there. If you're doing a PowerPoint, you have to upload it. Okay. And you have to upload it every period. I expect to see links or uploads for everyone on Tuesday, and I expect to see links or uploads on everybody on Thursday, and I expect there to be changes. If you do PowerPoint, which you're more than welcome to use the laptops in here and use PowerPoint, or you could start out with PowerPoint, upload to Google Docs, and switch, I don't care. But if you're uploading, every single time you upload, change the name of the file. Okay? Don't make it PowerPoint and keep it PowerPoint, keep it PowerPoint. Make it PowerPoint 1, and PowerPoint 2, and PowerPoint, I don't care what you do. Just change the name, save it as a new named file, and upload it as a new name every time, because I've had students think they uploaded a change and they didn't. Okay? So change the name every single time. Okay, let's talk about the project. So I just said everything that's up here, so don't worry. Okay, so overview, and this is all on the thing. Overview, you're a salesman, saleswoman, just like I talked about in the other one, for Company X. Oh, let's figure out what Company X is. So here's the list of companies right here, and we're going to randomize our list and figure out what everybody is. So let's see, randomize. Okay, so I'm going to hit randomize here, and when it randomized, the first one is table 1, the second one's table 2, the third one's table 3, the fourth one no one's using because nobody's table 4 and you're table 5. Okay, just so everybody knows before I hit the random button. And so you guys are BioStar, that's your company. I'm going to write it down up here on my thing just in case I forget. So your company for Josh and Adam is BioStar. You both have the same company, but you're doing Intel processors and you're doing AMD processors. Okay, so table 2 is ASUS or ASRock. ASRock is a subsidy of ASUS. Okay, actually I think they're spun off now, but they're all, we're going to consider it the same company. You guys are MSI, stands for MicroStar International, but your company is MSI, and yours is ECS, and its subsidy is PC chips. So Nick's got ECS or PC chips. And the reason I let you do the subsidies is because PC chips makes the cheap motherboards for ECS. AS Rock makes the cheap motherboard. So if I just say you have to do ASUS, then, or ASUS, however you want to pronounce it, then you guys wouldn't have any cheapies for the home. Okay, so now everybody knows their company. And if you forget, I wrote it down up here. Okay, so you are a salesman from one company. So you guys have BioStar. All three of your motherboards are from BioStar. All three of your motherboards take Intel chips. All three of your motherboards take AMD chips, okay? You're going to present 3 different motherboards. They have to be different. You can't present the same one 3 times because it fits all 3 things. 3 different motherboards. One of them's for home, one of them's for business, and one is a high-end gaming motherboard, okay? They have different specifications. The home PC is the least one you can find. Cheapest one. Cheap, 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 okay? The business one's in mid-range. There's descriptions down there we're going to go to. And the high-end is a gamer PC that price is not a primary thing. Okay, it says specifications are at the bottom. We're going to talk about that. Okay, so as you go through here, what are you supposed to be doing in the presentation? You're supposed to tell us about your company and its background, where its headquarters is. Show us a map of where the headquarters is. Show us where the production plants are. Tell us how big they are, how many motherboards they make, and how long they've been making motherboards. Okay? Tell us why you're here. That's the introduction slide. Why are you here? And then for each one of those motherboards, you have to tell us these specifications, and it's right out of the rubric. You have to tell us the motherboard bus speed, the speed that information goes around the motherboard. What components are integrated, and that includes everything that's integrated. Everything that plugs in or is on this motherboard, you've got to go through, okay? What the compatible maximum memory is, what the compatible CPUs are, and what expansion slots. Now, integrated components doesn't just mean what's on the back, okay? Now, I will have to explain that it's got 2 PS2 slots, a LPT port, it's got a COM port, it's got a VGA port, it's got 4 USBs, an integrated network card, 3-channel audio. That's the easy one that's on the back. I also have to say what plugs into it. Okay, this one plugs in 2 parallel ATA connectors. It's got 4 serial ATA connectors and a floppy drive connector. And that's it for what this one has. Okay, and I'm going to talk about that in a minute. That's the subject of some of the video that you're going to watch next week if I don't get around to it. Okay, so you're going to have to explain to us what's on there. If you use any terms, you need to either explain them or maybe have them in a note at the bottom of the PowerPoint. Okay, don't use. If you had to look up what that term was, assume that no one else knows it too. Okay, don't assume anything. You guys are doing BioStar. Nick has no idea anything about BioStar. Okay, and Nick in general, because he's doing Intel, doesn't have a partner here, so he's going to know very little about the AMD stuff too. After you do that, you want to talk about the advantages, disadvantages you're trying to sell us. At the end, we're all going to take a vote on who had the best home PC, who had the best gamer PC, who had the best business PC, and it's based on how you sold it to us. You're not allowed to vote for yourself, okay? And whoever got voted the most is going to get some bonus points, okay? So, you're a sales rep, you're trying to sell us something, try to tell us why we should buy you, okay? You have to define the costs for all the motherboards, and it has to be a link. You have to be able to click on it and show us where you got that motherboard, okay? You have to give us a summary. Thanks for coming. My home PC was $19.99. My business PC was $24.99. My gamer PC was $99.99. We've been in business 25 years. Our warranties are awesome. We'll give you great support. Please buy from BioStar, okay? I need a works cited at the end. Has to say works cited. It can't say tigerdirect.com. I want the MLA citation. Use EasyBib. Okay, so general guidelines. You know about your topic. Make sure you explain things. Make your presentation easy to read. If I can't read it from that seat right there, then no one else can either. Standard PowerPoint element supply. I expect design template, custom animation, slide transition, a works cited, and a question slide at the end. Okay? So let's talk about the different kind of, any questions so far? We're going to talk about the different kinds of PCs now. Questions? Okay, so what makes a home PC motherboard? Cheap, 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 and it has to have integrated audio, video, and LAN. In other words, when I sell you this, you're going to be able to stick this in a PC, put in a CPU and memory, and ship it out the door. Okay? I don't have to buy anything to add on to the home PC one, and I want it to be the cheapest one you can find. Some of you guys, the cheapest one's got to be $50. Some of you is going to be $19. Okay, for the cheapest one. So, home PC cheap. Business PC, yeah, obviously cost is always a factor, but it's not the biggest factor, okay? The business PC has to have a high-end network card. Has to have a gigabit or 1,000 meg, however they print it out, network card integrated onto it. Because if I'm a business user, I need to get to my stuff fast, okay? It has to have 2 SATA hard drives.
Mr. Poole?
Yes?
Hey, I have a question for you.
Can I call you back? I'm in the middle of a lecture right now.
That's totally fine.
Who is this? Who is this?
It's
Now-
Mrs. Stewart.
Who is it?
Miss Stewart.
Okay.
Miss Stewart.
Okay, so there are a couple different kinds there's 2 different kinds of hard drive connectors, okay? And we're going to talk a lot more about this. We'll open up when we get to hard drives, but you just need, there's two kinds of hard drive connectors. The old one is called PATA or IDE, okay? The old one is 3 to 6 times slower than the new one. The old one uses this ribbon cable to connect up. That's bad. I'll use an example. This uses this ribbon cable to connect up a hard drive. A lot of our PCs still use them. It's called parallel ATA. I can hook up 2 hard drives to 1 cable. Okay, this plugs in to my motherboard.
She seems kind of
I'm recording. Shh. And there's somebody put a pin in one of my spots.
beautiful.
Okay, you get the idea anyway. Okay, so it plugs into the motherboard and up to 2 hard drives connect onto that. Okay, this is not the fastest in the world. It's old. The newer ones are called SATA. This stands for parallel, and this one's serial. Anyways, the newer SATA connect one thing up at a time. So when I've got one SATA connector, I can only hook 1 hard drive in it. It just snaps in and it plugs on. These are much faster. Okay, so a current drive today, you would want a serial ATA or SATA connector. So on the business one, you have to have SATA hard drive support. Okay, I have to be able to put 4 gig of RAM in it, at least, because I want to be able to make it a fast PC. And it has to have, and I'm going to caveat this, should have integrated audio and video. Why do I say should have? If he's got ECS and there's only one motherboard you can find with integrated audio, video, and network, you can't use it twice. So if you can't find another one and you have to use one that only has integrated audio and not integrated video, then you have to give us video with it. So if it doesn't have video, you have to say, and it comes with this video card, which is additional $19.99 or whatever. Okay, so you have to find a video card because all these, or at least these 2, the idea is that video comes with it. The third one, the high-end gamer one, has to have 2 SATA hard drive spots. If it has SATA, you don't have 2. It has to have a gig network, just like the business, but it has to have 2 of the PCI Express X16 ports for high-end video cards. It has to have 2 of those. Okay. It also has to have 4 gig of memory, just like the business one. But it also, last thing it adds on, has to have 6-channel audio. And you'll see that on the audio, that means it's got good audio. This is not 6-channel audio. They'll have 5 or 6 ports with the audio if it's got 6-channel audio, but it'll say it on the specifications. So that's my definition of those 3. I'm going to give you an example of a PowerPoint presentation. This is an Intel one. It's a couple years old, and it is not a 100%. I will tell you that. But it's a good example of what one can look like. Okay, I used to just specify the socket, so now you would say I'm from Intel supporting Intel processors or LGA socket types. My name's Jim Rippleman, and I'm here today to talk to you about the motherboards that you asked about, which is a best home motherboard, a best office motherboard, and a best gaming motherboard. A little bit about Intel. Intel has been around since 1968. Our CEO's name is Paul Tonelli. We've got over 95,000 employees. I don't know if I pronounced that right, who cares? We make over 450 products and platforms, and we have plants all over the world, including China, Vietnam, US, UK, and Israel. We are one of the few companies that are actually headquartered in the United States, and that's our headquarter location right there. Our home PC motherboard that we brought to you today is the DG33 FBC Home Motherboard. Here's a picture of the motherboard right here. The sockets, the CPU that it takes, the sockets is 775, and it takes these compatible CPUs, the Intel Pentium dual core, the Celeron D4X, the Core 2 dual, and the Core 2 quad, all fit here in our socket 775 port. Memory, it's got 4 DDR2 slots and takes up to 8 gigabytes of RAM, and the spots, maximum of 2 per slot on this motherboard. As far as our integrated component, we've got 2 PS2 ports for your keyboard and mouse. There's a FireWire port back here. It's got a LAN port that supports up to 1 gigabit or 1,000 meg. It's got a standard VGA port. It's got normal audio with a microphone, headphone, and a line-in port, and it's got 6 USB ports on the back of this PC. As far as expansion slots, student lost points right here, by the way. Okay, what's wrong with this slide? And as people are giving presentations, you see this immediately. Okay, so it's got 4 PCI slots. Count them. 1, 2, 3. No, it only has 3. Okay, so it's got 4 PCI Express slots. Kinda, sorta. Okay, that's a PCI X1. That's a PCI X1. Actually, I'm saying it wrong. PCI Express one is annotated as PCIe. 1, 1, 1, and that's a 16. So this is a bad slide. You would lose points for that because you don't even point out that it's got a video card slot. Okay, just so I'm pointing out the problems with this one. As far as drive connectors, I've got 1 parallel ATA IDE connector, and I've got 4 SATA connectors. That's wrong. It should say SATA because that's an ATA, that's an ATA, that's an ATA, that's an ATA. But this is a serial ATA and this is a parallel ATA. So it should say 1 PATA or IDE and 4 SATA connectors on this one. And is there any other kind of drive that connect up with this one? Yes, there's a floppy drive connector right there, which he failed to point out. Okay, so there's the drive connectors on this one. Other information on this one, it's got an 800 megahertz front side bus. It uses the Intel G33 Express Northbridge 6-channel audio. The audio chipset is a Realtek ALC888. Its video chipset's the Intel GMA 3100. It is ready for Vista, and it's an ATX form factor at a price of $95. And you should be able to click on that link that's obviously 2 years old. So the link, although the link works, they're out of stock on this one. When we go to this, you'll see how easy it is to find a lot of this information, though. Everything is listed right here on Newegg. Basically, you can pull that, throw it on a slide. This goes on a slide with the other information maybe. You got a slide for your memory. It's all right there. Why he didn't just take that and put it on a slide, I don't know. Same thing with the expansion slots. Could have just copied that and put that right into the text box of that slide, and then there wouldn't have been any mistakes. I'm not the one who did this one. But the information, why not cut and paste? Why would you retype it and retype it wrong? So it says right there what kind of storage devices. If he, again, had just copied that, it would have said the right thing there. And then some of this other information can kind of be spread out on the information slide at the end. This one's got a 3-year warranty on it too. He didn't point out any warranty information on his slides at all.
On Newegg, does it show where the warranty is?
Yeah, it was right there at the bottom. It said 3-year warranty right down at the bottom. I went past a little fast. Okay, so then I would have a question slide on that one before moving on. Questions on the home motherboard. Okay, here's our business PC motherboard. And then same thing, go through with processors. Probably easier with the arrow. The memory that's on there, integrated components, expansion slots, which he had better expansion slots on this one. He's got 1 conventional PCI has got 2 PCI Express 1s and 1 PCI Express 2 things. So obviously did a better job getting on there. Talks about what graphics it has. I don't know why we need to know that operating system information. He obviously just copied it off of something. This one has no link, though. That's 5 points right there for not having a link to your price. So if you have a price, nothing to click on, that's 5 points off the rubric right there, okay? So then we could look at all of them. We don't need to look at all of them. There's information on his other one. This one actually does have a link, but it right there, here's the link. I prefer just the number to be linked, but that's okay too. And then at the end, I expect it works cited with the EasyBib works cited thing right over there, okay? Questions on the PowerPoint. This isn't perfect, but I just wanted to give you an example, and I had to use an example that I wasn't going to use, or wasn't going to do the company. So there were other better ones, but I didn't obviously want to use BioStar or MSI, because then whoever got that company would be able to copy and paste. Just edit that one. Okay, no questions.
Yesterday when Coach was like, dig in the spaghetti, Marshall was like, do we have to? Turbo's mom.
What?
This is nasty.
You know that was from week 1?
Yeah, it was from week 1.
Yeah.
She froze
Frozen and reheated.
Froze what?
That's spaghetti.
Okay, I kind of said this wrong, and I apologize last class, okay? I say PCI, it's kind of confusing because PCI X stands for PCI Extended, which is a PCI slot that goes out further, whereas PCI Express is annotated PCIe. It's really kind of confusing. So this is a normal PCI. This is a PCI Express times 16 slot, meaning this transfer data 16 times faster than the PCI E1X does. Okay, the 1 is smaller, and then they get bigger and bigger. I've got a picture of it here, right there. Okay, so the X1 is a little tiny one. The X4 is a little bigger. Actually, this picture is wrong because the X8 and the X16 are exactly the same size. You can't tell the difference between looking at this X8 and looking at this X16. It says it on the website, okay? And we're going to talk about how to find your things. But it's just showing that the X stands for times faster. So the PCI Express X1 is this fast, and the X16 is 16 times faster than the X1.
X16 is used for gamer cards.
And that's what you want for the gamer card. Yeah. The 8 and the 16, the 8 was the original that the gamer card fit in, and then they made it twice as fast. So yeah, a gamer card will actually fit in either one of these, but that's the one you want. It has to have X16, 2 of those for your gamer motherboard. So we're gonna do a search. Let's see who got nobody got Gigabyte. So we'll use Gigabyte as our example today. So if I'm looking for my Gigabyte motherboard, I have some options. First of all, I can go someplace easy like Newegg. And Newegg, if I go to Newegg and go to search for stuff there, it's computer hardware and motherboards. And look right here, I got AMD and Intel, so I'll say I am an AMD guy. So I'm going to pick AMD motherboards. And then I can go down here, click more options. Manufacturer, and I can say Gigabyte, okay? So here I've got 19 Gigabyte AMD motherboards, and I'm gonna sort them by lowest price. So the lowest price I can do Gigabyte is, what are you two doing? Is $49.99. I'm not saying this is the lowest price you can find on the internet, it's just the lowest price I can find a Gigabyte. So I'm gonna start here as let's look at this one, and does it fit into our requirements for a home PC motherboard? Okay, first of all, it's AM3 plus slot for an AMD. Okay, so yay if I'm on the AMD side, I've already found that. Does it have the requirements that I need as far as items on there? My memory, I'm good. Wow, 16 gig of RAM. Here's my memory standard as far as my speed that it's going to go at. Expansion slots, there are no requirements for expansion slots on the home. I just have to have all the integrated stuff.
Wait,
so it's
what's
got
the top one? PCI.
PCI Express 2.0 X16. That is the video card one.
Okay.
Okay.
I thought that said 20. So.
No, it's a version 2.0, but it's still PCI Express X16. So I go down here, I've got onboard video, I've got onboard audio, I've got onboard LAN. This one will fit my home PC, and it's the cheapest one I can find on this site. I will look at other sites, but I know I've got a starting point right now. If I use any of these pictures, please make sure you take the blow-up picture, not the little tiny thumbnail when you go and use these pictures, okay? So I'm going to copy this one if I'm going to use a picture, okay?
Is that a micro ATX?
You know, I have to look back at the thing. It does look pretty small.
It's got 6 holes.
1, 2, yep. And so I've got, there's my integrated stuff, and when you talk about your integrated stuff, I would use a picture of the back if it's got one, okay? Why not have this as the picture on your slide when you're talking about your integrated components, because it's easy for you to say, and look, they're labeled. How easy is that for you? So I've got all, it shows everything, and when I'm talking about my slots that it's got on here, it points right to my SATA connectors. I've got 6 SATA connectors. Do I have any of the old? I don't have any old PATA connectors on here. I've only got 1 video card slot. Again, no requirement for that on the home. We're just looking for cheap. So this is a good, cheap $49 one. Let's see if we can find one. So I can't use that one for the business if I'm using it. I'm just going to stay on this site for now. So my next price up, could I use this one for the business one? Let's look at this one. So requirements, where's my specifications? I got nothing? Okay, details, there we go. So requirement number 1, memory. I got 16 gig, I'm good on memory. Expansion slots, no requirements on expansion slots again. I do have a requirement on high-speed SATA, and this has got 6, so I'm good with my SATA requirement. It's got onboard video, audio, LAN requirement was that have 1,000, and I've got that. So I've got everything I need on this one for my business one. Okay, so boy, this one's very similar to that other one, isn't it? GA78LMX. That's exact. Oh no, it isn't. Look at that though. This is the S2P, and that's the S2. Oh, that's really close to being the same board. Let's see if we can find
You
one.
can get it for the same price with a rebate too.
What is the difference between my boards?
That one even has free shipping.
What was the, I didn't even look at the warranty too on this one. Okay, so warranty is
3 years.
3 years from the company, just so you know, but from Newegg, it's only 30 days. Okay. So let's see if we can find a gamer one. I'm just looking at the pictures now. I don't think so. And I'm looking here, PCI Express 1, PCI Express 1, PCI Express 1, PCI Express 2, but one of them is an X16 and one of them is an X4. I'm going to open that up and look, because that seems weird to put it like that. Oh no, it just was wrong. Okay, so let's go down here. So of our expansion slots, I've got, that is weird. What, I don't understand this. Saying one of them is smaller and slower than the other one, in which case that doesn't work for us. It sounds like this one does not work for us. I'm going to go back to another one, see if I can find it with 2 PCI X16s. There's a 16 and an 8, a 16 and 8 and a 4, 16 and 8 and a 4, a 16, 16. Okay, so this is the cheapest one that fits our gamer. This has 4, has 2 PCI X16, so there's our cheapest one from Gigabyte.
2 4s too.
Well, it has 2 4s plus 2 16s. So this is our cheapest one. And we don't have to go with cheapest, by the way, with this, but you're trying to sell it to us, so you don't want to go too high. Ooh, we got a video that we could incorporate too. Ooh, so this one goes, let's see how much memory, we can put up to 32 gig of RAM in this one. It's got 2 PCI Express X16s for our good video cards. I'm not sure what you'd put in the other 2 4s. 2 other PCI Express 1s, 1 PCI. It takes 6 SATAs. It's got 8 channel audio, and I said it has to have at least 6 channel audio. This is better. It's got 8 channel audio. It's got a gigabit network port. Onboard video, none. And that's what you want for a gamer PC. You do not want onboard video. It's better to have no video at all on a gamer PC, okay? So this one looks like it fits our gamer PC. We've got 1 PS2 port that does either keyboard and mouse. We've got 8 other USB 2.0s. We've got 2 USB 3.0s. We've got a 1 IE 1394 is a FireWire. We've got 2 external SATAs, an optical SPDIFIT out port. I don't even know what that's for. I got my 6 audio ports. And I've got, what else do we have? Internal, we can connect up other USBs as well on there. And it's an ATX form factor. This one looks like it would be a nice gamer PC. Let's see. Oh, we're getting a pop up there again.
It's cold.
Look at that. Look at that's pretty. So and that's what's let's see how it's purple and green. It means you can plug whichever one you want, but only one thing, only one PS2 port. Got 4, and they each hold 8, obviously, because it said it took 32. And there's our north bridge right there with a big heat sink, and there's our south bridge right there.
What was the one you showed us the other day that you said you could, if you could get it, like if money wasn't an option?
I don't remember anymore.
It was like red and something.
Dude, I showed him one the other day.
I can't remember that. Are you talking about the PC that you showed me the other
That
day?
Cybertron.
Okay, so that's an example of how to find your stuff. Realistically, guys, by the end of the day Tuesday, you should easily have your company background done. You're going to have to go to BioStar or MSI, and you might have to go to Wikipedia, and you might even have to Google a little bit. Yes?
This is Teresa from the cafeteria,
Yes?
and I am completely down on register 2. It's like it's frozen.
Okay.
Is there anything you can suggest I can do with it?
Is it, are you in the high school or the middle or the elementary school? I don't know where you are. Where?
High school.
Is it connected up to the NTLS Cafe?
Okay,
Is it connected to the NTLS Cafe wireless?
okay.
That's a question. Is it connected to the NTLS Cafe wireless? So what are you on right now?
Oh, Jimmy Chase.
Oh, let's turn it, hold down the power button, turn it off, and then turn it back on. Okay, fine.
Here's your password.
People think I can read their minds.
Yeah.
It's blue screen shutting down. Well, then turn it off and turn it back on. Okay, so where am I at? I lost track. Oh, so you should be able to. You should have your company background done without knowing anything about anything. You should be able to do the research on the company, do the company background, and get that done. And you should probably have at least your first motherboard done. The plan is that I'm going to come back and we're going to present the following Tuesday. Okay. So you guys have those 3 classes. If you have questions, email me. If I need to, I'll make a video and email it back to you for the whole class to be able to see. And I might make a video on kind of walk around the connectors and the motherboard again, so you have something to review. Yeah, Josh.
Do you want us to do, like, on the company background, do you want us to do one on Intel also?
No. Just on that, just on the motherboard manufacturer, not on the CPU. You'll do that next one when you do your one on Intel processors. Because those of you got Intel motherboards, next project we'll do Intel processors, and Andrew will be doing AMD processors. So our processors will match up with our motherboards.